All right, just before we get in and start to draw our hot and cold water and our sanitary lines, I want to clean up this view a little bit. And I should point out we're using this plumbing view here, but really it doesn't matter. You could place your own toilets and sinks and or a shower or floor drain or whatever you want in there as far as props go. So let's just kind of clean up this view a little bit more. First thing I'm going to do is grab some objects and turn off the category. So I'll grab these objects, hit my light bulb and say hide the category. That hides all objects of that category. Well, that does a pretty good job. Now, the next thing I notice is that I'm not crazy about the color of these plumbing fixtures. So just to show you why that is the way it is, if you go into visibility graphics, VV on the keyboard, you'll notice that mechanical equipment, which is that hot water heater over there, and down here at plumbing fixtures have a color override. So I don't mind the color override, but I'm just going to pick on something else here. Different color for that. And the mechanical equipment is fine with the green, so we can pick on there. You'll also notice that the line weights are really fat on here, and that goes partly by the scale. But if you go to manage and you go under object styles, you're going to see a bunch of piping objects in here. Piping accessories, piping fittings, okay? Piping fittings, pipes. Notice the number 5 is the line weight projected. We want to probably bump that down to be, probably a 2. And in the way these are set, I'm not going to get into line weights right now, but let's just change the line weight of all of these piping categories to be a 2. Okay, hit OK, and that'll lighten that up a little bit for us. Good. Okay, you can always type TL on the keyboard for thin lines. TL. Right now we're in hidden line mode. If we switch this over, we can we're in shaded mode. We can go to hidden line mode as well. SD on the keyboard turns this back on. So there's some shortcut keys. So that's not too bad. So now we've got this cleaned up, and we just want to take a look at this. And what I've done before getting into this particular starting the video is I did some screen captures. Before I'm going to delete all of this stuff right now, and I took some screen captures beforehand just so we could kind of note where things are and what elevations and stuff are. So you could go on here and pick on this piece of pipe, and it's going to tell you that it's at the elevation 1200 off of level 2. If I pick on here, it's going to tell me that's at 953.7. No idea why. These guys will connect right off of the fixtures, so that height will be adopted from there. Similarly here, so where you attach to a fixture, you just inherit the height. So we can kind of do that. And then if I click on here and shift middle mouse to swivel around, we'll see that there's our hot and cold water. And I am not a plumber. I'm not sure why there's a cold water. It says hot water out and cold water in. Oh, I guess that's the in line, but I'm not sure why this would circulate in and out that way. But however we route the piping, we can note that, if we go like this, there's our hot water. And you look at that, and it's at 50 millimeters above level 2, so just a couple inches. And these cold water pipes are running just under 200, which is about 8 inches off of level 2. So, and then these pipes in here, okay, are sloping, okay, and what we're going to talk about mainly is the main trunk that comes down here, and we're going to slope that at 1% and have these ones naturally tie in based on the elevation of this sloping pipe. So if I pick on here, you'll see that this is at approximately, minus 400. So it's 400 below level 2. So I've taken note of that, and I've taken some screen captures using Windows Snippet, and I've put them in a drafting view. And I can show you those. I believe, in fact, it looks like I don't have them in here. I think they're in a different file. And I'm back here. Yes, in fact, I did do my screen captures in a different file, a little bit of a practice file. I have a drafting view in this project, and what I've done is I've just pasted in some images. So just to kind of take this, and we can have a quick look at this and some elevations at 1 1200, 1000, or sorry, 1000, 1200, minus 400, 50. And then the ones with the arrows are pointing to diameters of pipe. So this is a 25 millimeter, which is an inch. This is a 3/4 inch. This is a 2 inch, a 50 millimeter. And these are 100s, so 4 inches. Okay, so just some different information. Water heater, and then I've color coded this. We'll do that where we can see the hot and cold. So we can just kind of have a look at that beforehand. We're going to probably stick to this pretty much. So what I can do here is I can copy and paste these over to our project. So I'm going to go click on both of these guys, grab them and go Control C. And then what I'm going to do is hit my close window, so I only have one window open per project. And then I'm going to go to my view and say switch windows and switch over to my other project. Inside of here, I'm going to create a new drafting view. I'm going to say view. It's over here, drafting view. Okay. Your icons will look different if your screen is bigger. Scale, yeah, that looks okay to me. Hit OK. And then I'm going to just go Control V on the keyboard, and then I can just take those objects and paste them in there. Now click out. So that's just an image file that I've captured and pasted in there to begin with, and it just got a little bit of information. So as we're working and as we're drawing, we can reference back to this drafting view. So that is going to get created under here. Drafting view under the question marks, because it doesn't have. So why don't we put that in here? Why don't we change its CAD or view classification to be CAD clip? So let's pick on here, and we'll go to view classification and change it to be CAD clips. And then all of a sudden it'll resort itself inside here. Isn't that nice? So then we have these views. So we'll reference back to these views. In the meantime, let's go to our 3D plumbing view, which we've put in there, and it's time to erase all these pipes. So we're just going to do a click like this, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to say select all instances. Oh, I'm wondering if I could use the visible in view, etc. So I'm just going to shift middle mouse a little bit like this, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do a big crossing box. And then I'm going to use the filter option up here, and I'm going to remove the plumbing fixtures and the mechanical equipment. There's one piece of mechanical equipment, 11 fixtures, pipe fittings and pipes. I'm going to leave them selected. Thins out my selection set. Okay, filters it. You can see they've all turned blue. Okay, note where that vertical stack is. Just kind of like sitting off-centered there. Okay, in fact, I can just hit my top button here. Okay, so last look at this before we delete it. Delete. And it's gone. Okay, shift middle mouse button, swivel back up. So once again, you could just place your own objects here, and you can place them on walls, and you can link in a file. Doesn't really matter how you end up doing that. And let's just grab these guys. They missed my selection. Okay, so one piece of equipment, 11 fixtures. And now we're ready to start to put in our plumbing pipes.